Hi, I am Tenacious Earl, and this is the first event of the inaugural Tenacious Golf Tour. So this is the Tabletop baseball channel, but we are going to start doing some other sport-related. We've already done some. Tabletop Earl's been doing some horse racing with some fan interaction, and I'm getting into the world of tabletop golf, which is a little different. So, excuse me. This stuff will give you, make you wanna. And that's not product placement. That's just. Anyway. So the first tournament in this series is going to be what is going to be called the 2018 Silverado Open. So this is based off a course in Northern California known as the Silverado Resort. I believe that's what it's called. I know it's the Silverado something or other. I think the Silverado Resort. We're going to use History Maker Baseball. We're going to use History Maker Golf, boy. We need some outtakes here. Woo, boy. Anyway, History Maker Golf, to do this, they have a course which simulates the course that is in, and it's called Napa Valley Country Club, the North Course. So the purse for this event is going to be $6 million. That's kind of the standard purse that I have set for these tournaments. Later on, I'll show you an updated tournament schedule. I've added 2 more because I wanted to make it even 24. So there's a couple ground rules I'm going to go through, and I'm going to show you some things here shortly. But I'm going to turn the camera around now. So, and I'll discuss some rules and things that maybe I hadn't talked about before. So let's turn this around. Okay. This is something that I'll show you in a bit. So, well, actually, I'll show you now. So, one thing that I'm going to be doing for this is I'm going to be keeping sort of a logbook, journal, whatever you want to call it. I feel like with this particular game, I need to have some kind of a running track of how things are going and a place to note things down. So I'm going to use this. I got this for Christmas a few years ago. I've already written Tenacious Golf Tour. I put an S there. So, I've put some information in here, and let's zoom in a little bit. So this is from this point forward, and you can see this is a thick one. I mean, this is going to give me probably 5 or 6 tours if I want. If that's what we do. Maybe we won't go that far, but you never know. I kind of hope I can take it out a number of seasons and see how these golfers move forward. But anyway, so we're going to use the 2017 Pro National Golf card set, which I have some of them divided up here. The video that I did earlier, if you remember that, it was we split out the main tour qualified players, which was 125 in number. That's just like the PGA Tour. And then we have a stack here that is qualifiers. So one thing that we're going to be doing, so there's a couple of custom rules I've added just in my thinking here since my previous video announcing the tour. So the reason I added 2 more tournaments was that I wanted to be able to make it into 4 quarters, and 22 didn't really do that. We could have done 2 halves, 11 tournament halves, but I wanted to be able to do something every 6 tournaments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to analyze the money list, and if you're familiar with History Maker Golf, you'll see more of this later on. Like for these qualifiers, here's Porter Davies as a qualifier. He has a 5A rating. This is a tournament rating. What that does is, what you'll see later in this video is how we build the players who make the cut, and then the players who are basically in contention for the final round. I'm going to be getting rid of my Kindle up here so I have more room. So, anyway. So, what I'm going to do is, based on the money list, I've already sort of concocted a table that will allow me to go through and every 6 tournaments look at the money list, look at these ratings, and see if let's say, so there's one player that's a 1A, which is the very top rating, depending on where he finishes in the money list after 6 events, he could move down. Not going to be able to move up, but like for instance, Porter Davies, if he has a couple good tournaments and he's going to be, let's say, in the top 25, maybe he gets to jump his rating up a little bit. So I've been in contact with Keith at Play just to try and get some advice from him, and I think he felt like this was going to be a little tedious. The other thing I don't know is how I'm going to adjust these cards. I really don't want to mark on them, but we'll cross that bridge after 6 events, once we come to it. But I think for now this is a neat way to try and sort of evolve the players into something where they might be able to perform better. These guys, like for instance Porter Davies, maybe you could envision him being like a 20-year-old on tour, trying to sort of like grow, and if he has a couple of good tournaments, he has a chance to maybe get back, move up into the higher rankings. And so that's one thing I'm doing. The other thing I'm going to do, so one of the first things that you kind of have to do for, I'm going to put my little dice box over here so I don't have to hold that open. Something that you have to do in the process of this is know what sort of like a target score is for this course. So for instance, for Napa Valley Country Club, you would go in to maybe a PGA Tour event that recently happened and decide and see what the score was from that, and use that, because you set like the third round scores based on that. So instead of what I'm planning to do is, I did that, but I'm going to have a little modified roll here to set that at a sort of a fictional level. So what I'm going to do is, so let's turn the page here to tournament number 1, which is again the Silverado Open at Napa Valley Country Club, the 2016 tourney score. So really what this is 20. Let me already make a correction in this book. So really it's the 2017. The tournament that I focused on was, and this looks like a 220, it's 270, but it was from the 2017 tour, but because of the way the PGA Tour starts and the way we're going to do it, it was actually run in 2016. So the 2017 Silverado Open happened in October of 2016. So we're going to be running this October 19th through 22nd. That's going to be sort of the fictional days that we're running this. That's actually this coming weekend. But I'm not sure when I'm going to have a chance to actually do the final round. It might be this weekend right here, so we'll see. But I decided that I wanted to get the early parts of this going. So what I would do is I would take the score, and I have this little modified roll. I'm going to take a D6 and the decider, and I'm going to roll them both. So what the decider is going to do is, if it's a dot, there's going to be a 2x, and if to these little factors here, and if it's blank, it's going to be just 1x or whatever. So for instance, if we roll a 3, it's going to be a 270. With the blank, it'll be 270. Actually, either way, it would be that way, right? Either way, you would end up with, whether it's the decider or not, a 3 is going to be 0. But let's say you got a decider yes and a 4. Well, you'd add 2 to it. If you get the 6, we're actually going to add 6 strokes. So it's going to be a good. We're going to basically be targeting a high score, and maybe we would, in that case, have sort of a, what would you call it? Sort of a record score for that tourney. Or you could end up with a blank and a 1, and so then you end up with, or let's say the decider die is that and the 1, then you end up with 4 shots below, and maybe that's just maybe they had some bad weather. They left the rough a little longer than usual. The greens were cut shorter, and so they were really fast on the stimp meter, and it just was a more challenging time. So I just wanted to introduce a little bit of variability into these scores. I think that is one thing that makes things interesting. So, and just for full disclosure here, I have kind of come up with this tournament to-do list. I'll hold it here for a second, and as you can see, I have sort of, it's open-ended because I'm not sure I'm going to get any farther than number 13 here, but you can stop this if you can read my hen scratch. You should have been able to get a feel for You can rewind it there and see later on what I mean when I say the to-do list, because that's kind of a boiled down to-do list from things. So, all right. So let's get moving. Like I said, I'm going to be using this book. I'm going to usually have it off to the side to just kind of like make little notes, because what I'm going to be doing is keeping track of scores in. And actually, one thing I'm going to do, one moment here while I adjust my setup. As you can see over here, I have the next Phillies series basically ready to go. Okay, I'm going to loosen my vise a little bit here so I can turn this. I want to make sure I don't lose my phone off of here. Whoa, there go, almost goes my lamp. Okay, there we go. So I'm, oh boy, I can't do that, can I? I have a C-clamp right in the way. Okay. Well, we'll just go with this for now. Before we do the final round, I'm going to make an adjustment to this. So, but this will have to do. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Sorry for my finger there. Okay. So we'll just leave it more or less like this. Okay. And hopefully this phone doesn't fall. It's kind of acting a little wonky here. Okay, I think that's better. Okay. So here, let me see. Can I zoom out? Yes, that's even better. Okay. Let me sit down for a second. So we're going to go actual target score. So we're going to take the green, we'll take the white and the decider. We're going to roll them here. And this will give our somewhat of our actual target score for this tournament. And it is, so a 4 and a decider die is yes. So that'll be 2 shots above. So it's going to be, or 2 shots, actually, what am I saying? I guess I should do this differently. I'm going to mark it down a little differently in the book here. So I was thinking in terms of par rather than in terms of final score. So really what we need to do is we need to say that these are -1, -2, -3, and +2 and +1. So there we go. So if anybody is confused about that, what I mean is that now you'll see here, because we had the 4 and the dot, so that means you multiply by 2, so that's going to be subtract 2 from it. So the target score is going to be 268. So it's going to be a little lower than what they shot in the 2016. Well, in the year 2016, it's the 2017 version of that. So that comes into play when we head to when we construct the third round. You'll see that a little later in this video. So I'm going to put down qualifiers. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19. There's going to be 19 qualifiers. So we have 125 in these 3 packs over here. We need to get to 144. So you do the math. That's 19. So I haven't really thought so much on how I'm going to take these cards and turn them into 19. So what we'll do, I'm going to shuffle them up. I can't remember how many cards are here. They're probably 40 to 50. And I think what I will do, I'm going to shuffle them a bit, and then I'm going to do something very similar to the procedures that we do later on. Probably not the most acceptable practice in terms of, doing this bending technique for your cards, but so, all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make 6 piles roughly even. Actually, let's redo this. Okay, that's 3 roughly even. Let's move them like this. Take this, do this, do this. So we have how many cards in here? Roughly 6. Let's roll a d6 here. We'll take the bottom card, number 6. That's going to be a qualifier, so it'll be Pettibone. We'll put these off to the side. Let's roll this again. 3, so 1, 2, 3. Wait. Actually, we need 3 from each one, so, right, 6 times 3 is 18 plus an extra one, so let's keep rolling. The top one here, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Okay. Let's go to this one. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 5. And now I gotta redo these from the top. So 6. 1, 2. One more. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This pile will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 1. Whoop. One, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. You're not really seeing me do it, but now you are. 1, 2. Okay. Again, there's a 6, so we go. There's 2 stuck together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we've got one more here we've got to take, and that should make our field. I'm going to shuffle them up here, spread them out. And I'm just going to pick this guy right here. So there we go. Dallas Downs. Lucky man gets in. So, that's that. I'm going to write down, well, yeah, I'm going to write down the qualifiers real quick. What I should have done was printed out printed out that other sheet and just checked them off. So it's going to be Downs, Watanabe, total this, Sherrill, Lottis, and hopefully it comes up to the right number. Runyon, Wilborg. Sounds like a robotic tennis player. Wilborg. Co. Man. Bierman. Kai. LaBerge. LaBerge, maybe. Nijimi. Or Nijima. Minix. So these guys are all not on the tour. They are going to have to play their way in every week. Hope's got a pretty good rating, so we'll see if he can make a showing here. Zeithofer. Sakong. Pettibone. Okay, so those are the qualifiers. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means that we are ready to do the first 2 rounds. What we're going to have to do here now is figure out a way to shuffle these all up. And so the next procedure that you need to do after this is to combine all the golfers. So we've got 144 here. So there's the qualifiers, and here are these guys. So what does this mean? So what we have to do is we need to mix all these guys together. And what I would actually like to do is there should be no particular order to any of these. So what I want to do is I want to take these, divide them into 2. Take these, divide them into 2. Equal, roughly. If you can see that there. Okay, that's pretty close. And we're going to put an equal number on each. And then what we need to do is we need to shuffle these up. So this pack here is going to be the morning pack. This is going to be the afternoon. So we have pairings in theory. And what I'm going to do is I'm really going to just sort of do a big shuffle them up here a bit, like this. Try and randomize them a bit. They're going to stick together, so it's not easy to do. But we need to try our best to shuffle these up. And I still have to do it for the afternoon, but we're going to start with the morning, and then we have to repeat it for the afternoon. So, but what you want to do is you want to try and get these randomized. I'm going to now do another sort of standard shuffle. I'm just going to kind of try and fluff them out a bit and just, do the normal. These cards, like I said, they like to stick together a bit, so it makes it a little tougher to shuffle them. But to have cards that are easy to distribute, to cut, and to be durable over time, and also I'm not really doing this in front of the camera here, and also be able to do it in a cost-efficient way. It's pretty tough I would say, for a company to be able to make like glossy and all these. So you have to, you kind of understand why cardstock would be used, and it's cool with me, but that's one of the downsides is it makes, and you can see the name there, but that's okay. So, that's probably about as good as I'm going to be able to do now. I could go a little longer. I'm starting to feel a little sick. It's getting warm in here. Okay. So, next is dividing into 8 piles. So, I might not be high enough for you to see all 8, but that's what we're going to do. So what we'll do is we'll start by dividing into 2. Equal, roughly. Okay. We'll then try to get into 2 more equal, roughly. pretty good. And then what we'll do is we will do another split of each of these. So we'll take these guys over into here. These guys over into here. There we go. Okay, now we can eyeball the outsides. How is that? Pretty good. Okay. So we need this chart here. This is the first 2 rounds, all golfers chart. So what we do is we take the morning and the afternoon and we do this process each time. So each pile represents a roll. So what we would do is, in this making the cut, you roll 2 D6s, and each selection here has something that you have to do. So you roll 2 D6s for each pile, and each selection has, each roll has something that you do. So we'll take the first pile here, and what we're going to need to do, I wish I had, let me move these down here a bit. Whoa. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Trying to keep things from getting too troublesome. What we need, and what I wanted to do, if I could find my... One moment, I'm going to try and find my smaller index cards. Do I have some of these index cards here? Large ones. Need a better organization. Here they are, way at the bottom. Great. Perfect place for them. Okay. So we're going to have 3 piles. Where's my pen? I'm going to have make the cut. Actually, here's make the cut. Outstanding. And miss the cut. So we have 3 piles here that we're going to make and put those index cards where they're more easily accessed later. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with the morning pairings. And we'll go with the leftmost one. And I got to make sure I don't mess these up. I want to, oh boy, I'm gonna completely, you guys aren't going to be able to see this chart. I'll show you once we roll each one. So here we go. We'll roll off for the first pile. And that's a 23. So for 23, we draw 1 golfer and choose the top 2 remaining. So what that means we do is we take all these guys and we fan them out here in a way. The other thing I've done at times is to do what I did early on, which is roll a die and count until the right spot. Actually, what I should do is roll a d20 and do that. Let's do that. It's fun. It's more fun to use randomized stuff when you're gonna, because I feel like if I do it the way that I was gonna do it, if you just pull them, you tend to shy away from the ends, or you intentionally do the ends, which then skews your choice. So instead, if you just roll your d20, you've got an equal opportunity to hit. Not all of them. There's definitely some potential. You know, your number 6 is probably, if you've got 7, then you've only got 2 chances for the 7th card in the deck, because you don't get the 21, but this is close enough. It'll be a 14, so let's go 1, 2, Wait, let's go backwards. So if it's 14, how many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so this guy right here makes the cut. It'll be Danny Gallatin. And then we pick the top 2 out of here. So we turn these over now. And poor Remy is going to miss out on his first cut. Qualified in. It won't be Kenny. Probably Tom Sudbury will get in there. Unless there's a couple of lower cards right here. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Sudbury misses the cut. It's going to be Greer Copeland III and Palmiro Cavallari. And the way that we do this is by this tourney ranking right here. The 2A and the 2B are the best of the bunch. Everything else is a 3 or lower. So if you have a tie, let's say that there were 3 golfers that were 2Bs, then what you would do is use the decider die to determine whether they make or miss the cut. So the rest of these cards have all missed the cut. They're going to go over here in the missed the cut pile. Too bad, so sad. Okay, so here we go with the second pile. 35. The 35 is you draw 2 golfers and the top 3 remaining make the cut. So we're going to do this again. Oh boy, 17. Got to get the high numbers here. All right, let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means 16. The top one is 17. All right, so it'll be Ray Tuminello, and we get a 2. So then we just go 1, 2. And so those are the 2 golfers that we had to draw, and now we turn them over and see who is left. The top 3 remaining, so a lot come out of this pile. You're going to get this guy's going to be the favorite probably most of the season. That 1A is going to be there, so that's 1. What else is in the pile here? We've got a 3A. So the 3A is going to make it. So that's number 2. Now we need number 3, and is it going to be? I guess it's going to be Cameron Tullis is the 3rd best, and so these other guys, they miss out. Okay. The whole point of doing this is to try to end up with around 70 or between 70 and 75 golfers that make the cut, and the rest. Well, and that includes any that end up outstanding, which you can see here. You have some rolls that give you this outstanding selection. So let's go to the 3rd pile. 12. So you draw 1 golfer and choose the one top. So this is where if you got a couple of good golfers in here, they might. Oh wait, I need to roll this. It's a 13. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to stick together. Here's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to get to 13. That means another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy is the one drawn. Ziggy Juno, a 5C, is going to make the cut. We'll see how he fares. Looks like he's a big hitter. So then we go with the best out of the bunch. They only get 1 top golfer out of this group. So a bunch of 4s and 5s there. There's a 5B. There's a 3A. He might make the cut. Let's see if there's any. Are there any 2s left? No. Saxerholt will make it. The rest, not so lucky. So the 5th pile, right now the 4th pile, I have one hiding there. 45. A lot of guys are going to make it out of here. 1 golfer drawn. 4 remaining that are top. And it's going to be the second one that's drawn. So 1, 2, be this guy. Soaring Overguard. And then we take, we'll just fan them out here for everybody to see. We need to get 4 out of the remaining. There's about probably 7 in here. Let's see. Okay, so there you go. It's going to be the 3Bs and the 4A. Hirano, Sykes, Kleckner, and the rest we'll watch from the gallery. Next roll, 36. Oh boy, we're going to get 6 out of 9 out of this pile here. So we're going to draw 3. Top golfer, the one on the top of the pile is going to go. That's Yamasaki. And 5 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thorson. And then 11. Okay, so how many do we have left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be the 5th guy will be number 11. Alardo Huerta. And now we get what? 3 from the 3 best that are left here. So there's a 3A, a 4B, a 3B, and a 2B. Uh-oh. Someone's going to get left out. 2B, that's going to be the 4B. That's not so bad. 3A, 3B, 4B, and 5A are the ones that get left by the wayside. Okay, let's move the rest of these over. So as you can see, this is a bit of a repetitive process here. So 13, you draw 2 and get the top of what's left. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I gotta do this right because there's a 16, so let's see how many are left here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the bottom golfer out of this pile will get in, Millwood. And then we do one more, 17. So we had, now we're back to 7. So that'll be 14, 15, 16, 17 right here. And then we get 1 out of the rest. So looks like it might be that 2A unless there's a 1B in here. Nope. Any more? Is there 1 here? Nope. Okay. Aldrich makes it. $56. 1 golfer, top 5 remaining. So draw number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boy, I didn't do a very good job. That'll be 7. Wilborg. Nobody's an outstanding golfer yet. Maybe we'll get some in the afternoon. So now we choose, what, the top 5? Did I have 6 there? I did have 6. So basically, all of these guys make it. So you get a 1C in that pile, but all of them are going to make it. And then the last pile for the morning, 14. Okay, here we're going to get an outstanding. Draw 3, and the top one will be outstanding after, or the top remaining. So it's 15. Let's count them out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, I got a little off there. So 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we had to roll, what, 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh boy, and that's gonna screw me up. There's an extra card here. Alright, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start from here again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to be this guy here. Someone's going to feel aggrieved, probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And there's 2 here, too. That's going to be annoying. Let's see. So 6, 12, 18, 19. Aren't they on top of the shelves? I think I put it up on the shelf next to your books. Okay, so we got 3. The methods are not always the easiest, but so the best golfer left, who is Kimes, is going to be outstanding, and the rest of the guys missed the cut. So that's your morning. And we got to do the afternoon now. We need to shuffle them up. And we're getting towards an hour, so don't want to I don't want to make too long of a video here, so I might just stop at making the cut and just adjust the name of this video. At first it said through the 3rd round. I think I might do the 3rd round separately. Okay. Huh? Look around your room. It's up there somewhere. Learn to put your things away. Not my place to keep your room clean, kid. I have a tough enough time keeping this room clean. So we have one outstanding golfer, and you'll see that person, that anybody who's outstanding will be pulled into their own pile, which will potentially help them get a better spot in the final round. We'll see. So now I'm in this place where I've got a bunch of cards that are sort of, like all askew. And trying to get them straightened out is fun, as anybody who's ever done this knows. But now here's the thing: I will probably turn these kinds of behind-the-scenes videos into Patreon available material, but I wanted to start off doing this in the open public space, just because I'm trying to help people see how to do this. I want everybody to see that, again, everything that I've tried to do with the channel and, well, the channels I've been involved with is to try to be a teacher. So we're getting down here now to brass tacks, and we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a shuffle here. But to try and be a tutor, and to try, I'd like to have it both be something where we can, if someone's really interested in the background of how these tournaments get pulled together, that it's something that can be some add-on content. On the other hand, I also want to make sure that there is information available so that someone can see how to do it. So in reality, what's happening here is you just have, each of these groups you can think of as maybe 3 pairings. And you figure in a group of 3 pairings, you're probably going to end up with an average of 4 players making the cut. So you've probably got 9 players, and you got 4 that make the cut. And that's kind of what this is doing, just in a fashion that tries to be as random as possible, so that we have, it's a combo. There's a combination in this of randomness, and also that there should be some players that fare better, if you know what I mean. So, and I think Keith he's done a pretty good job of trying to do this. So Okay, so we're pretty close to being even Stevens here. I'm going to move one here. That looked a little smaller. All right, so here is the afternoon pairings, and we will get started with a 25, which is draw a 3 and choose the top 2. So, sorry, so draw 3. Okay, so I'm just going to do this from now on. You're not going to be able to see it probably unless I can turn it a little bit this way. Boy, a lot more cards in this one. Wow. Okay, so let's roll this D20. We're going to have a bit of a... So number 2 goes. How many do we need to draw? 3? Yeah, draw 3. 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then the top 2 remaining. Well, 2B is probably going to get it. Trenchard. Adam Trenchard. Trenchard Warfare. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a 2B goes in, and then we have a tie between these 3Bs. So what we do is we roll the decider. This is the first time we've done it. These two guys right here. Celestino Garcia and Simanowicz. I want to double check. I want to double check the rules. I'm pretty sure I've got this right, but I want to do it in a way that is proper, and I think we... well, any golfer tied for the last remaining spot in the stack to make the cut. Okay, so we don't roll the decider die there. These guys both the 3Bs will make it. That's easy enough. So it's later on you roll the decider over some things. So 12, so 1 and 1 will be 12. So let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Let's flip these all over. I don't know why. Oh, there's a 1C. He'll probably be the only one. If there's a 1B as well in here, or another 1C. Well, if there's 2 1Cs, then that's fine. But, okay. So, it will be Magalhanes who makes it. And a bunch of guys, a bunch of 2s are going to miss the cut. Okay, pile 3, 44, 1, and then the top 4. So 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then what do we get? The top 4? 44. Top 4 remaining golfers. So, and ties. A couple of 3s here. 3 3s. So let's see. Actually, so there are 4 3s in this pile. So 3B and 3 3Cs, they'll all make it. The other golfers will not. They'll have to wait till next week. All right. A few more putts. Hold on a second. Yes? Okay, I gotta stand up for a bit here. Let's keep going. I'm going to try to get this done in 10 minutes. Probably it's gonna be tough. 4, 6. So anytime you got a 4, it's draw 1 and take the top 4 remaining. So we got to get an 18 in here, boy. Got to count them out. $10, $11, $12, $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18. Okay. Oh boy, a 5-3 Woody Clark. How about that? 5B gets in. So there's a 1B. Got some good golfers here. Some 2s and a 1. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I think we've got 4 more piles left. 36, 3 and 3. Okay. 12. Let's fan them out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Nothing stuck together here, right? So there's 8. We need 12, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we need 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1. Gareth Leonard, and then the top 3 left. Might get some 4s in here. 2A, a 3C, and a 4B. So there you go. 12 is 1 of each. So let's just roll it out here. It's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh boy, a 5B gets it. It's going to be a... Oh boy, you're going to have a 2C missing out. You get a 5B out of the random. Oh, you're going to... You know what? You're going to have a 1C miss out. Carson Riddell's going to miss the cut. And so isn't Wallace, a 2A. So you're going to get the 1, Gil Granbury. And you get some good golfers missing the cut here. So 2 left. Oh. That's what happens when you don't have much of a workspace. 2, 3, 1, and 2. So we draw 1 and take the top 2. 14. Every time I've rolled that, it seems like it's come up really tall. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the last one. Solari. 3A, 3C, 2A. The 2A will go. The others will go home. Last pile, and then this will be it for making the cut. 24. Draw 2. And then the top 2. We get right off the top here this time. 1, 2. Sebastian Sato. And then the top 2, Heath Somers will probably be in that, a 1B. only oh boy, both of the 1Bs. Well, that's where the shuffling can be interesting, because you do the best you can, but sometimes it's works out. So you get the top two, it's going to be the 1Bs, and that's kind of decent because the rest of them are kind of So you have one golfer that hits into the outstanding category, so that's going to help them out a lot in this third round, most likely. They'll probably be contending the rest of these cards here, which you can see. Let's stack them up here. They should be about equal. There might be fewer that make the cut than miss, but if you stack them up here, and I don't want to mix them up. Well, I know which pile is which, but if you put them together, you can see that the making the cut is just a bit smaller, which would mean it's going to be right around 70. And the missed is going to be closer to 80. So that's that. So what does this mean? Well, from here we will start to build the leaderboard for the final round. I'm going to do that in another video because we're reaching an hour, and I don't want to turn this into something that's like a 2-hour process. So maybe later today I will make video number 2, which will be the third round, and then we'll see, maybe later in the weekend we will look at trying to finish off this tournament and getting it to the point where everybody can check it out, but and see how you carry it through to the end, how certain mechanisms work. Okay, so let me turn it around here and bring it up and hope it stays in place. Okay, so that's how I'm going to qualify my tournaments, how I'm going to choose what the score target is for each tournament. It's going to be based off of reality plus fudge factor for being able to maybe either put in a tough day at the office, or really good scoring conditions, and maybe some golfers that get maybe break some course records, or not break course records, but at least just break the tournament record. So we'll see how that works out. What I have to do now is I'm going to have to start building my leaderboard in my Google Sheet. I have a sheet created for each tournament, or I'm going to have that. I have it just for the first one now. But I can now populate the guys who missed the cut in that. They will not get any money for this tournament. The guys that make the cut will, and so that's what the final... and I'm going to try and figure out how best to populate the scores for... I have some ideas, but in any regard, this is it for determining the cut line, who makes it, who misses it, and how to get your tournament started. If you have any questions, leave a comment. If you caught me doing something that you don't think is right, if you've done this before, leave a comment. It's fine. I'm probably won't make a change based on that, but there's some sloppiness here as far as like cards sticking together. It's just the way it's going to go. But look forward to getting this tournament. It's underway, getting it finished up here, and to start building a money list and to see how it all turns out. So thanks a lot, everybody. Hope you hit your shots not too often and pretty straight, and we'll be with you again next time for the third round and maybe the front 9 of the final round. We'll see if we do it that way. So have a great one. Like I said, hope you don't hit it too often, and God bless.